YouTube, back at Locals, my boy Joey just got first place in what deck, sir?
Plunder Patrol.
You guys know him, he the one actually top master for Plunder Patrol, so he's the master with this deck, man. Let's see the list.
All right, so the standard list is 3 Whitebeard. So if people don't know what it does, is during your opponent's turn, depending what attribute they got on the field or they have in the graveyard, that's what you get to make from the extra deck for free, and then he becomes an equip card. If he leaves your hand or leaves the field, you can disperse on 1 Plunder Patrol monster from the deck, but then you're stuck into Plunder for the rest of the turn. I'm also running 3 Bluebeard. His effect is if you control Plunder monster that's not Bluebeard, you can show it to your opponent for cost, and then if they don't have a response, you summon it for free. It's like a little extra extender. And then if you leave your hand and leave the field, you discard 1 card for cost, then draw 1 card. I'm only running 2 Redbeard. I see a lot of people running this at 1. I like the 2 just for the extra 500 boost off the field spell and the equipment for the grind game. But he does the same thing as him. During your opponent's turn, depending what attribute you got on the field, you have in the graveyard that you can make from the extra deck, and then he becomes an equip. But the thing is, if he leaves the hand or leaves the field, he just becomes an equip card. I'm also running 2 birds. I see a lot of people running this at 3. I mean, player's opinion. I mean, I like it at 2, but what he does is you show the bird to your opponent, you target 1 Plunder monster in the grave for cost, and if you say it's cool, you summon the bird, you put the card back to your hand. And if he leaves the hand or leaves the field, you can disperse on 1 Plunder from the back row and defense. I'm also running 2 Goldilocks. She's a 1 card, she's like 1.5 card combo, where it's like, if she's in the hand, you can send 1 under Plunder Patrol monster on the field or hand to the grave for cost, special summoner. If she's in the graveyard, you discard 1 card to special summon, you're stuck into Plunder. So she's like a 1.5 card combo to make Blackbeard. I'm also running 3 of the field spell. So what the field spell does is all Plunder monsters get 500 boost for every back row that's a Plunder. Then you can discard 1 card from your hand to search for any Plunder card from your deck to your hand. If it's in the graveyard, you can trigger 1 Plunder card in the back row, put it to your hand for cost, and then you set the card. I'm also running 1 tier farm, and I'm running the 1 booty. So most people don't know what this does. You target 1 monster on your opponent's side of the field for cost. You change the attribute, so you can change the light, fire, dark, whatever you need at the moment. Then it's like it can monster reborn a monster from the graveyard as a Plunder, or shuffle it back into the deck, but it do not target. So it's good for grind. So maybe I'll change the ratio how it is. Maybe I'll run 3 copies, or maybe I'll run 1 copy or 3 copy did. But so far I like it how it is. That's for the Plunder lineup. Then I'm also still running the Brave Engine. I'm still running the 2 Water Enchantress, the 2 Right, the 1 Faithful, the 1 Draco Bag, the 1 Griffin, and then the 1 Foolish Burial to get into the Water Girl. I see a lot of people running this at 3-3. I mean, you could if you want to. That's really up to you, player's opinion. But I feel more comfortable. But me personally, I feel more comfortable running the 2-2 just because I'm running the 1 Foolish Burial, which can get me into the Water Enchantress or any other engine I want. So this one, so she's special summon for free. Then you can search this card with this by banishing it from your hand or graveyard. And then this lets you get a token by placing this face up. This lets you search for this or any adventure monster, but you have to discard 1 card. And this is just an Omni negate. So it's like a free body or a free negation, depending on what you want to do.
Right.
But that's the adventure lineup. And I'm also running some going second board breakers since Kashira or the Trap Chick Elaborate's running out. I'm running the 1 Kaiju Slumber and the 3 Kaiju still.
How you like that still?
I'm testing it out still. But so far I still like the ratio I used to run, the 3-1, just because you want to see them in your hand, but you don't want to see them in your hand. And it's because if you're going second, yes, it's cool that you see it, but it's also cloggy because you mostly want to see your Plunder cards more than the board breakers. The triple tag the trust can get you this, but this card's amazing, especially going second. If they don't have no interruption to stop this, you can just Kaiju summon the board, give them any attribute you want, and then from there you can normal summon a Plunder to make the Blackbeard, and then combo off from there. And then these just get rid of any negation. If they have a Baron, you just tribute it, a Sarah tribute it, or anything you want. You just jump it over it, and that's it. Call it a day. And then the cool interaction too. If you give them cool interaction, if you have Faithful and you give them a Kaiju, you could just use Draco. You could give them a Kaiju, Draco back to your hand, and then give them the Kaiju again.
That's nutty.
So it's 2 for the price of 1. So it's pretty cool. That's for the Kaiju lineup. And then for the hand trap, I'm running the 3 Ash Blossom and 3 Imperm. I mean, I don't have to explain much. I mean, Ash Blossom is really good in this format, and Imperm is just one of those staple cards that you have to run in this format. I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, it helps it out.
What
so
Imperm
is mostly you can use it for Kashira, you can use it for Brandon, you can use it for Trap Trick, not for the extra deck monster, but for the main deck monster from Marmillo, Mentis, Diana, stuff like that. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but Budokai, the one that searches out the field spell.
Right.
And then any other role matchup really, Sorcerer or anything like that, That's for the hand trap line. And like I said, Ash is Ash. Everyone knows what Ash does. And then for the board breaker, I'm running 3 evening match. Since I'm going second all day, I mean, you could go first because of the Earthship, but I prefer still to go second just because going second is very strong. You could evenly match anybody. You could be Kashira, it could be Labyrinth, Trap Trade. Just get rid of the body, and then for you to combo off.
Nice.
Then I'm also running the 3 triple tactic trust, and then I'm running the 3 triple tactic. So like these two, I like these two. I really like it a lot because if you open up with these two, all you have to do is bait out your opponent. That's where like the kaijus and then like the brave engine comes in. Just in the fact that you could activate this or activate this. They have to ashes. If they don't stop this, then you're gonna like, okay, cool. Even in like evening match, if you activate evening match and they negate it, you can activate triple tactic trust, cool, whatever. Search what you need. So you can search out a kaiju slumber if you want to. Like you can literally just search out this with this and just blow up the board. Like and especially if you're going against Cashier, all you gotta do is bait it out and you can activate triple tactic for free.
Yeah, thrust is good.
Yeah, trust and triple tactic is really amazing. If you see both of them in your hand, I mean, you should, like, depending how you play your cards right, you should be able to fly through everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, these are just I mean, personally, you don't have to run 3-3. You can run 2-1. Like, player's opinion, but I prefer seeing it because the faster I see this going second, the better.
Hey, man, you the Plunder Master, so you call it as it is. They don't play you already opinion.
But that's the main deck. It's 44.
All right, let's see the extra deck.
The extra deck, I'm still working with it, but so far I'm running the 1 Zeus, I'm running the 1 Amirage, the 1 Toad, and I'm running the 1 Bahamut Shark. So most players don't want to run, like, they don't have to run this. You can run whatever you want, but me personally, I like seeing these two, because if I open up, if I have, give me 1 second, if I have this and I have this in my hand, it's just a Toad plus Blackbeard. So you have an Omni Negate for free, and then to top it out, you still got Blackbeard, so that you could draw 1 card, make whatever you want for free. Then I'm running the 1 Amirage, just like I said. These two together is the 1.5 card combo, just because you needed the card to discard. But your normal make this, then you could discard 1 card, special summon this bag, make Blackbeard. Nice. And then you just combo off from there. I'm making the Zeus, but just because you could make it, if you could hard make it if you want using your XYZ. But if you triple tag, like I'm running 3 triple tag, this is the fact that you can steal their XYZ, commit suicide, and then from there you can just jump a Zeus and then nuke the board. Yeah. Like if they make a Rise Heart for 6 material and you go triple tag to steal it, you can make a Zeus for 7 material or 8 materials. But that's for the non-plunder stuff, and then for the plunder stuff, I'm running the 2 dark ship, 2 fire ship, 2 light ship, 2 earth ship, and then the 3 Blackbeard. So most people don't know what they do, which is understandable. But what he does is like you can target 1 effect monster on the field, well, my side of the field. That's the cost. Depending what attribute you got in your opponent's field or your opponent's graveyard, that's what you can make from the extra deck for free. That's a plunder and draw 1 card. And then I mean that's all he does. It's just he's the starter of the deck. You summon him, you make 1 of this for free, you draw 1 card, and then that's where the combo started beginning from there. So that's what Blackbeard does. With this one, this is the new one, which is pretty cool. Okay. So what he does is on the field is that you can target 1 plunder card in the graveyard, and then they say it's cool. You add the card back to your hand. You put this to the pendulum scale. His pendulum effect is you give you and your opponent a pendulum token with the attribute of your choosing. So if you're going first, you can make this called light. You can call, depending on the matchup, you can call fire, light, dark, whatever you want, and you give your opponent a token. So it's good against Kashira, it's good against Labyrinth, it's good against whatever you want. And then his other effect on the field is if your opponent was special summon monster, you get to add 1 plunder card from your deck to your hand, and if he's equipped, you get to special summon 2. Yeah, like he does a few things. It's a mouthful. It's a mouthful. What the light one does is during the main phase, you can special summon 1 Plunder Patrol monster from the hand or from the spell and trap card non-target. And then if your opponent activates monster effect, you can discard 1 plunder for cost, negate the activation, destroy. If he's equipped, you get to search any plunder card. What the fire one does is other fiend type monster get 500 boosts other than himself, unless there's 2 of them, because these 2 stack each other. So there'll be 3 but he gives other fiend type 500 boosts. Then you get, if he's equipped, you get to discard 1 plunder card from your hand, target 1 of your opponent's spells and trap, banish it, add a plunder monster from your deck to your hand. So he's also good for like finishing the game quick, because like they can get super big pretty fast. And then what the dark one does is if he has an XYZ material, if any of my plunder card would be destroyed by a card effect, I can detach 1 to save it. Do not activate. It's like bailing. It just happens. And then if he's equipped with a plunder card, he becomes a quick effect. Discard 1 plunder card, target 1 effect monster your opponent control, banish it, add a plunder spell or trap from the deck to the hand. They do the opposite from each other.
Nice. Now you want to start a side deck or is it secret?
We could go to the side deck. Okay. I'm still working on it, so it's not really a secret yet.
Okay.
Like the sauce is there, but it's not really like. Right. So right now I'm trying out 3 Ghost Spell. I'm trying out 3 D Barrier. I'm trying out Rivalry of the Warlord. I'm trying out the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, the 3 Throw, and I'm trying out the 2 Nibiru. Okay. So the Ghost Spell is mostly just for like any road deck, like Labyrinths. It could be used against Despians. It could be used against any deck that needs the graveyard or adds from the graveyard. Really. D Barrier. Everyone knows what D Barrier is. You call Fusion Seeker, XC, whatever you want. Just call it a day. Rivalry. I'm running this just because like it's pretty funny because because the fact that since you're giving your opponent a fiend token, you could do this and this, where you can make this, give your opponent a fiend token, and then rivalry lock them. just make sure you put all your monster defense so they can't commit suicide with the token.
Right.
It's also good against other road decks. It's good against Despian, it's good against Trap Tricks, it's good against like decks that all different types. Everyone knows what Harpy's Feather does. It's just destroy all spells and trap. Then I'm trying out the 3-drone Lockbird just because like some decks do add and draw like crazy. It's just to slow them down for the moment. That's all it really is. And then Nib, like I'm not a big fan of Nib. Like even though Nib is good, but people are trying to figure out how to play around Nib. So like you don't want to open up with too many Nibs and it's just sitting in your hand and eating dirt, you know?
Facts.
So I'm trying out 2 Nib, but I mean if 3 comes up, 3 comes up. I'll try it out in the future, you know?
Feel that. Any count outs?
Yeah, shout out to Quality Game. I mean, the people here, good practice. Aporia, my team, the Goose Squad. And then like everyone here, really. I mean, the practice is real. I like it.
Thanks for profiles.
No, for sure.